Everything got quiet here now in our street. Things were a little loud earlier today. So guys, I have right here the best of LG ever. We're looking at the LG V10 and the LG G5. All right, so what I want to show you guys today is basically the interface of the camera of these two amazing phones. The G5 has things to offer that the V10 doesn't have, and vice versa. On the G5 we have the wide angle camera that we don't have on the V10, but also on the V10 we can control the volume and the microphone sound when you are recording. So what do we have as far as the specifications of the camera? Well, on the G5 we have the dual camera, 16 megapixel dual cameras. On the V10 there's only one camera, also 16 megapixel. Both phones can record video in up to 4K. As far as the front facing cameras, we have a 5 megapixel wide angle on the V10 versus an 8 megapixel wide angle on the G5. Here's a closer look, guys, at the sensors. As you can see, dual cameras here on the G5 versus one camera on the V10. Like I said before, 16 megapixel sensor on both. Also, as you guys can see, both offer right there the laser technology for the autofocus. So welcome to this comparison. Wow, this is the big match right here between the V10 and the G5. Like I said before, this is probably the best from LG in terms of phones by far. The G4 was a really good phone, but these two phones, I think in my opinion, offer a little bit more with the camera application than the G4. So let's start looking at the application, the camera interface and all that. So right here we see access to the gallery on both. The next we see access to start recording, taking pictures, and there's a back button on both. Right here on the G5 we have this arrow right here. If we press right there, it gives you access to share the pictures using some of these options right here. There is a Bluetooth, you can activate the memo, email, text message, and so on and so on. We don't see that option right here on the V10. On the top part right here on the G5 we have the option to do standard camera or the wide angle camera. Now compared with the V10, as you guys can see, we can cover way more here on the G5 using the wide angle camera. So here it is, the standard. As you can see, we cover the same on both. I believe it's about 120 degrees, it's the standard. Now when we activate the wide angle, take a look at that. That's a big difference, and I believe that's 135 to 140 degree wide angle. So moving on, here on the left side on both phones, we get access right here on the G5 to activate the three different modes: simple, auto, and manual. Simple, it's gonna take everything away from the screen. You can just tap on the screen to take pictures on. Auto, you guys already know auto, and then manual, it's the one that is gonna give you all the different controls. Now I'm gonna get back to that in a moment. Let's take a look here at the rest of the interface. So the next one is to activate the flash. This one right here is to activate the front-facing camera. You can also swipe your finger across the screen to get access to activate the camera. Sorry about that. And go back to the front-facing camera. We're gonna look at the front-facing camera later. And the next one here gives you access to mode. Under mode we have auto, pop-out, multi-view, snap, panorama, slow motion, time-lapse. I believe we don't have time-lapse on the V10. There are applications that you can download to do that, but it's nice that it comes built in the camera application. Multi-view, it offers you the option to do all three cameras at the same time. So as you can see right here, we have the both of the rear cameras, the wide and the regular, and the front-facing camera activated at the same time. Let's go back here to the auto, and then the next here it's the settings. Right here you can change the pictures and video size. The next one is HDR. This one right here gives you the option to start some filters, which is really nice. You can do that even before you start taking pictures or video. The next one is the timer. The next one is the voice commands. This one here is called steady, and the last one is the grid. All right, so let's take a look now at the V10. So on the V10, on the left side, we get access right here to control the flash, here to control the front facing and rear camera. Like I said before, you can also do it with your finger. Now with the V10, it does offer dual cameras on the front versus the dual cameras on the back of the G5. So we have the dual cameras right here, and we're looking at the wide angle camera right now. And as a matter of fact, let's look at the front facing camera too on the G5. So as you guys can see, in terms of the front facing camera, and actually let me make sure that I have it right here in the right setting, which I don't. All right, take a look at that. Now we are wide angle. So you can do just regular here on the V10. That will be regular, and as you guys can see, we're closer. Or you can do wide angle, and we are the same right now on the G5. So with the next one here, it's a mode. You get access to multi-view. Multi-view, it gives you the option to activate 3 cameras, since there are 3 cameras on the V10. 1 on the rear, 2 on the front, versus on the G5 we have the same option, as you guys can see, but 1 on the front, 2 on the rear. So moving on here, that's a multi-view, and you can change the style, as you can see right here. You can even split the screen into and all that. So the next one, it's mode, and let's go back to the auto. You get panorama, slow motion, time lapse. So I take it back, the V10 also offers time lapse, so that's good. All right, so the next one here, it gives you the option here too, which is the settings to change the picture size and video size, which we already have on the G5. We already saw that. You get the grid, lines, the steady shot, and this is the option to decide if you want to store the pictures or videos on the SD card or on the phone. Now right here on the other side, we get the option to click on manual. You can also click on simple, which is the same mode that I show you here on the G5. Let's go back to the front-facing camera again, right here on the top, simple. So that's gonna take away everything. On the V10, you keep some things right here, but you can still tap on the screen to take pictures of. Now, the important mode to highlight here on both of these phones is the manual mode. So let's go ahead and activate manual mode on both. Now, this is when things get, serious business here with these phones in terms of photography and video. You can control pretty much everything like you will do it with a DSLR camera. So let's access right here a few things. And as you can see, we get this kind of like a wheel right here, so we can control multiple things. The ISO, saturation, white balance, out of focus right here. You can control the focus, as you guys can see. Super nice option. Same thing right here. Here's a look at the ISO. So, I mean, you can pretty much do anything you want with the cameras. Now, on the V10, we have an option that we don't have on any other phone that I haven't seen yet. When you click on video manual, this is when this phone goes above and beyond any other phone. There is an indication right here of the audio levels. So, as I'm speaking, this is showing right here the audio levels that the microphone is picking up. Now there's a microphone icon right here. If I click right there, it gives you this option right here, and you can adjust with your finger manually the level of the microphone. You can do up and down, And then right here, this one, it's the volume of the microphone. So if you want the audio to be, I don't know, louder, you go up. If you want the audio to be low, you go down, or just keep it right there in the middle. Now this one right here is really cool because basically if you want the microphone to pick up the voice coming from, like if you are behind the phone recording, you're gonna put this down. Now, if you're, let's say you are recording maybe like sport events and you want to record the audio that is behind the camera, not your voice, you will move this option to the top. So it's gonna start getting recording the audio that is coming from in front of the phone or in front of the camera. So that option, we don't have it, or I haven't seen it on any other phone. There might be some third-party cameras application that you can download. I think it's a camera V5 that gives you similar options. Also, there is a white noise filter right here. You can activate that on the V10. So the next one that we have here is called Snap. But pretty much this is the options that we have right here on these two phones. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the front-facing cameras. Now on the front-facing cameras, pretty much we have the same. There is no manual controls for the front-facing camera. We have the beauty face right here on both phones. Both phone takes pictures are pretty quick, as you guys can see. So about the same. I cannot say that the G5 is faster than the V10. They are the same when it comes to taking pictures. And I take back something I said before, that this option right here that gives you access to quick sharing pictures. We don't have it on the V10. We do have it right here. So that's the same. Now let's see what else we have here on this side. We get the manual. However, that's not going to do anything for the front-facing camera. I can tell you that right now. Next, we got mode, and we get settings out. And this is pretty much the same that you see on the rear camera. You can control right here the picture size, which let's go ahead and do 4:3. So, as you can see right now, the front-facing camera on the V10 is actually wider. When you put both in the 4:3 aspect ratio, which I already have right here on the G5, I have to say the one on the V10 is actually wider. It's wider, and this is it's actually totally the opposite on the V10. We have a wider camera on the G5 on the rear, but we have a wider camera option on the V10 on the front. Which one can you take more advantage of? I think that that comes down to preferences. A lot of people are taking selfies these days, so I think for some people, the front-facing camera will matter the most. A lot of people might be doing vlogging, video vlogging with the front-facing camera of a phone. So you can maybe take advantage better of the wide angle on the front-facing camera on the V10. If you are recording more with the rear cameras, you probably want to go with the G5 because of the wider angle on the rear camera. Take a look at that. That's a huge difference right there. Especially if you want to do like reviews or things like that, you can get really close and be able to fit everything in the frame because of the wide angle. So there it is, my friends, the camera interface on these two amazing phones from LG. Alright guys, I want to know now, which one will you go with? Will you go with the V10 or will you go with the G5? So basically guys, in terms of pictures, video quality, you're gonna get about the same. You're gonna get a little bit of a higher resolution for the front-facing camera on the G5 with 8 megapixels versus 5 from the V10. Rear camera, you get the same megapixels, same video quality. However, if you care more, like I said before, if you care more about wide angle when you're doing selfies, go with the V10. If you care more about the wide angle on the rear camera, go with the G5. Thank you guys for watching the video. Subscribe for more, and I will see you later. Peace out.